With fellowship and friends around us. Now up to the court of Sven and Antigone, Rex and Regina, Ansteorra. Good gentles all, pray heed your Majesty's words.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Wonderful weather we have. We're worried about it. Let's make this last all day. We're going to have a very historic moment for the society. I'm glad everybody could be here to be a part of this. And I hope you guys have a good time. All our Baron and Baroness, thank you for hosting us and having us out here. A good time and a good point. Anything you'd like to say?
I think
yeah. Excellent. Let's have a fun start.
Perfect. Good gentles all, pray heed her Majesty's call.
Harold, please call my white star.
White Stars of Ansteorra, you're invited to join this day in court, Her Majesty. Present yourself. Cousin Tessa, you're invited by the Majesties to come join court up front. Cousin Tessa.
Ansteorra, pay heed, for today we do what no Ansteorran crown has done before, and was not been done since long before the birth of Ansteorra.
For as long as there has been Ansteorran, there have been 3 peerage orders. The chivalry for chivalric combat, the laurel for arts and sciences, and the pelican for service. All of these our kingdom inherited, and our first peers were elevated by the crowns of Ottenveld.
But in one area, Ansteorra did not learn from others. We taught the known world the arts of rapier. Our white scarves set the standards that other kingdoms tried to emulate. What started as a principality order with Tyvar Moondragon as the sole member grew into the most influential kingdom order of the known world has ever seen. Rapier fighters have learned from us. Queens have asked how they can have what we have. Heralds have asked for the right for their kingdom orders to share a name with our white scarves.
The pride and joy of any Ansteorran queen has been the love and the devotion of her rapier fighters of all levels. Today, the known world finally recognizes what we have always known. That in their dedication, prowess, and honor, our rapier fighters can stand as high as any others who fight, learn, and serve our kingdom.
Would the peerage orders of this kingdom rise in place?
Chivalry. Are the orders of peerage complete?
No, Your Majesty!
Royals of Ansteorra, are the orders of peerage complete?
No, Your Majesty!
Pelicans of may complete.
No, Your Majesty.
The peers of Ansteorra, we bid you to sit down and attend that all of Ansteorra can see history in the making.
For the first time in our kingdom, we'll create a peerage order, elevating peers to an order that will be created by their elevation.
In the time of the Renaissance, there were fighters and teachers of great renown, famed as well for their skill with rapier and for their dedication in teaching. They were known as masters of defense. Furthermore, those who distinguish themselves by following the ideals of honor and courtesy, who esteem our laws and customs, and who embody the ideals of nobility, are counted as peers. Throughout the known world, the orders of defense were created to become the symbol of peerage amongst those greatly skilled in the arts of combat, with rapiers and other skilled weapons.
There are none to ask if the order is complete. The order has not yet begun. It is thus our will to see the first candidates of the order of defense in Ansteorra. Call forth the candidates.
Their Majesty summoned to the presence Don Miguel de Deveria Yohosa, Don Caleb McRobb, Don Robin of Gilwell.
Your Majesties, my good brothers and sisters, good barons and baronesses, people of Ansteorra, Your Majesties have called before you Don Miguel Viejo...
Tayo de Viejo Yosa.
I'll bring the Spaniard in for this.
Miguel Vallejo de Viejo Yosa.
Thank you. Your Majesty, Don Miguel is a young man. I will not try to list an order of accomplishments to compete with those elders waiting to come before you. Some more old than others. But this man at the age of 19 has been champion to Her Majesty Antigone I already. He is the current and now two-time cut and thrust champion for the Kingdom of Ansteorra. He was the guardian of the Queen's Hope 4 times. Your Majesty, as a herald, it is my job to present this man to you. As one of your dons, 7 years ago, a boy showed up in Bringalad, wanting to learn to fight, wanting to learn what we did with a sword, what we did with each other as far as our relationships, what we did to make this kingdom better. That boy is gone. This man comes before you as one of the premier wielders of a blade in the known world. I have been fighting with rapier for 21 years. There are days where I'd like to think I'm not that bad at it. I have faced people in my kingdom, I have faced people across the known world who are considered the ultimate fighters. One man has ever made me feel as this one does. His namesake, Duke Miguel, makes you feel like you are drowning when you fight him. Don Miguel does the same thing. He loves this kingdom so much, he left part of himself on the hills of Bringalad, but two and a half weeks ago. Don Miguel, it is my honor that you ask me to speak for you. Your Majesties, your soldier, Don Miguel.
Your Majesties, assembled nobles, good people of Ansteorra, I bring before you now the Ginger Avenger. Not long ago, I extolled the virtues of Caleb McRobb as he was elevated to the Order of the Pelican. I'll not relist those. I will simply say their Majesties have called for a courtier. Their Majesties have called for a peer. What do peers do but inspire? Every step this man takes, he inspires. From young fighters of all ages and to to our older fighters of all ages, he inspires. On the fields of Glenavon, he has slain countless foe for this kingdom. As Baron of Lochsolier, he leads armies. How many barons have their own cavalry? He is a tremendous fighter. His skill with the blade is known throughout the known world. His abilities to speak or to be silent carry great weight with all he meets. Your Majesties, for years, I have been inspired by this man. Countless others have been inspired by this man. His cadets follow him today. Inspiration. Truly what a courtier should bring. Your Majesties, a true peer of Ansteorra, and especially for skill with the blade, Master Kaelin McRobb, Baron of Lochsolier.
Stand back and make way, for now comes the Queen's man, the people's hero, teacher of scholars, counselor to courtiers, entertainer of bards. I might even say he is a herald's herald, but today I have the honor. Herald's herald. Must I speak his name? You all know who comes. Shall I list his honors? You all know them. But in blazing new trails, let old forms be observed. Make way, for now comes one of the great dons, a master of the Pelican, master of the Laurels, 4th Baron of the Steppes, Lion of Ansteorra, defender of the Dreams. By his side, his beloved, Mistress Serena LaSalle. In days past, it was his honor to serve as champion to Her Majesty's Queen Siglinda of blessed memory. He bears her glove still, and likewise the glove of Queen Elizabeth. In the days of Queen Connell, he bore the Queen's Blade of Honor. He is a companion of the Orders of the White Scarf, the Star and Iris of Merit, the Centurions of the Sable Star of Ansteorra. Thrice has he been awarded the Queen's Rapier. He bears an augmentation of arms, and has thrice been honored as Premier Bard of Ansteorra. And now, people of Ansteorra, share the honor of this great moment with me. Join me in calling his name. Make way for Robin of Gilwell!
Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry who will speak for Don Miguel?
Yes, Your Majesty. I bear words from His Grace Duke Aaron. It is my honor to bring these words since he cannot attend. It is my great honor and pleasure to be asked to speak for this young man. I regret that I cannot be here in person to say these words. I speak as a knight of Ansteorra and the knightly virtues. He respects and represents all of these virtues. Miguel has every single one. He fights with heart, skill, honor, and chivalry. He is a white scar, and he is now a master of defense. That is very apparent. He has grown up in the SCA and epitomizes the ferocity that it is to be Ansteorran. Coming up from the youth rapier, following his brother, and becoming his own man. Being Queen's champion, he has taught me, Aaron, a thing or two about fighting. He is my peer, Duke Aaron McGregor.
For this young man, I first owed him a debt of gratitude for coming in at such a young age and taking over the mantle of the dread pirate Miguel, that I could retire as a king of Patagonia. You have my thanks for that. I however, was somewhat surprised and dazed when he had asked me to speak for him for this accolade, primarily because I was on morphine just recovering from surgery. but also because when I first met this young man, I did my damnedest to try and convince him to quit the SCA. And it was for no negative feelings towards the young man, but he and his brother possessed such amazing talent, mental acuity, sharpness, and abilities that I thought that there were bigger avenues for this kind of talent. I recommended that instead that he pursue collegiate and Olympic fencing instead. But even then, though a young man, barely a boy at the time, he was a man of his own vision and insight. And as such, he decided to pursue his own path. Well, we can all talk about his prowess. Everyone knows about that. Many a fighter have come along in both the heavy and the light field and attained the levels that he did early on and thought, well, this is good enough. They allowed their egos and their own press to impede their own level of achievements. However, Miguel did just the opposite. Speaking for him as a knight, I would say that although prowess seems to be his greatest achievement of his knightly virtues, I would say instead that it is humility. For it is his humility that takes him back again and again to reinvent himself as a fighter, to continue to push forward, and to drive and drive to be the excellent level that he is now, and the unbelievable level that I expect that he will achieve someday. So, although I would say that, yes, he is my peer, I don't quite look at it that way. To me, he is more akin to me to be the peer of those that I had looked toward when I was coming up. The Inmans, the Sigmunds, the Pats, the Hectors, the Michaels. Was this man my peer? Hell yeah. That and much, much more. Miguel, congratulations on your great accolade.
Is there a member of chivalry to speak for Caleb and Rob?
Your Majesties.
Sorry, blowing home. It would indeed be my honor, please, Your Majesty. It is such an honor to speak to this man for many, many reasons. One, and the most obvious reason, with all humility, he is most worthy.
I have had the honor of seeing him grow from a young man into, shall we say, a mature man. And as his prowess, has expanded to the known world as one of the greatest fighters. But behind that blade, he has expanded into what we expect a person who is now a peer of the realm as a person of the blade. He has used that to be wise, to be a leader. When you think of him as a person that is a courtier and a master of defense, yes, you think a man who is great with his blade, but you think of a person who is a leader. You think of a person who is a courtier. You think of a person who is kind. You think of a person who is a family man and a husband. You think of all these things that he is a master of. And to me, in many ways, that's even more important than being a master of defense, because you defend your honor and the honor of Ansteorra. To me, that's what a peer is. Because the blade's important, but that's what you take home. That's what you take to the free world, so to speak. And to me, that's what we should learn from what we do here in the SCA, is the magic that we have in the SCA is what we take home to our children, to our friends, to our families. And this man does that, and he epitomizes that. And I hope with this new order that we continue to do that forever and ever. That's what the Middle Ages should have been. That's what I hope the current Middle Ages will get back to, will be today and forever. Cale, I am honored that you are my great, let's see, you are my, great cadet. I get it confused, but anyway, and that you won Queen's Champion, Modius won Queen's Champion, I won Queen's Champion. To see you all do so many wonderful things, and all the others, I'm very, very proud of you. Congratulations, and thank you, Your Majesties, for recognizing it. And all of those that you're recognizing too in your write-in, thank you very much. By your leave.
Your Majesties, Jarl Owen apologizes he cannot be here. He sent me his words. I will paraphrase. Simply, Cale has always been my peer. He said some few nice words on he can kill anyone and everyone, pretty much both fields, and he recommends this fierce man to you.
As a member of the Order of Chivalry, I speak of Robin of Gilwell.
Your Majesty, I would speak of this man. I am Abdal Bati Jamal Ibn Akin. Yes, sir, Raleigh, not mere of a name, but you can blame him for this. I'm also a student of history. I am proud to be part of a kingdom that helped pioneer a fighting style that became so noteworthy that the rest of the known world had to accept their greatness. It's something else. It's one that personally, I always thought I wanted to become part of that myself. But everything they aimed for over the years, it seems such a shame that for trying to meet all of what we consider to be the wrong virtues, they could never be given the prestige they were due. That is being remedied today. And while I respect every member of the Order of the White Star, there is one who, when I asked years ago to possibly go along that path, someone who actually guide me down that path, I can think of a lot of examples, but the greatest of these was in my own backyard. He allows me to wear the sign, the symbol, that demonstrates to the rest of the known world that I still have a path to follow. I still have some ways to go. And he can still teach me as accomplished as I am. He can go on to Litchfield or Rapier Field and definitely hold his own. But one of his greatest qualities is that he can sit there and take a person from wherever they are, speak their language, and build them to these very same qualities. Your Majesty, without a doubt, I can recommend my Don and my friend as my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican that would speak for Robin of Gilwell?
Your Majesties, I claim that honor. I've known this man, I won't say how many years. He's younger than he seems. Robin has gone just about everywhere in the known world to teach people how to handle the sword, to show them what honor is, to show what the white plume means. He has been instrumental in spreading the white scarf, largely through heraldic treaties, and it has spread throughout the known world. Can there be any finer service than to teach the known world what it is to be an Ansteorran? Robin is most definitely my peer and more.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican that will speak for Lieutenant
I, Caitlin McKenna, would speak for this worthy noble. And as a member of the Pelican, let's go for efficiency, mine's not long. I've known Cal for 25 years. We were babies. In that time, I've known few that embody peerage so effortlessly and so pretty. But he does put forth much effort on the behalf of the SCA, as evidenced by his elevation to the Pelican but a fortnight ago. I'm not going to repeat all of it. This day is to honor his service and dedication to the rapier community. He is a peer twice over.
Your Majesties, I bring words from Mistress Marguerite Denard. Your Majesties, I, Mistress Marguerite Denard, member of the Order of the Pelican, do send words for Kaelin McRobb. Several weeks ago, Your Majesties did say that this man was unique and special, enough so as to select him as one of the 3 premier members of the Masters of Defense. It has always been my experience with Kael that he is a true courtier whose grace and mannerism have never been in question. He carries himself with dignity and grace and is well respected by all his peers. He is always willing to help when and where needed, without thought to himself or the time involvement required. We see this with him being baron and fief for your lands of Lochstoyeg. He is and has been a fair and just ruler with his lady wife, as we see with their group's growth and prosperity that he has done well as your steward. He leads by example and is well respected. Kael is also a leader within the rapier community. He is a don of the Order of the White Scarf, as well as having served as the rapier general for your kingdom several times at Gulfport. He has also gone above and beyond as Queen's Champion twice, once for Her Grace Evergardis and as well for Her Grace Jillian. Kael is, as well, a new member to the Order of the Pelican, which exemplifies his service to both the kingdom and the society. Kael has done the service in holding many local and deputy offices over the years. Your Majesty, this man is my king. Marguerite, mine too.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican that would speak from the gal?
Your Majesties, I'm Afonwe Fairjevin, or member of the Order of the Pelican. I have had the privilege of knowing this young man before he joined the SCA. I got to watch him grow up. I got to watch him show everybody what it was to be an Ansteorra youth fighter, to inspire the youth to get somewhere, to keep going, and to become what he has now become, a fine young man. He is a joy to have. In addition, while I was Baroness, he was one of my champions, and he made my day fun. Everybody speaks about what he and his brother have done together, but each of them are so different, and each of them brings so much to this game that what I want to talk about is what Miguel's brought. Miguel has brought us a young courtier, a young soldier, and a young scholar. He continues to study and teach anybody who will listen to him about the ways of fighting, and about the ways of being courtier, and about the ways of being a scholar. That, to me, is great service. It shows that he has a love of our kingdom and our society, and that is what makes him here. Thank you.
Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel that will speak for Miguel?
Your Majesty, may I have the leave to read this particular herald? Miguel is an artist. He paints with his blade with exquisite precision. Death scenes, life scenes of what we hold most dear in the Reiki community. That is artistry. His knowledge of the scholarly pursuits is well known. He is truly an example which we all aspire to. More importantly, he has a soul that has been said that is humble, but a soul that is rich with nuance. It is a quiet depth that is him. There is much to be found, much knowledge to be shared. Your Majesty, I'm proud to represent the Laurels in saying this man embodies art in this society.
Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel that will speak for Caleb McRobb?
Yes, Your Majesty, there is. I am honored to bow, and I would speak for this man. In truth, I have struggled as to what to say today. Every description and turn of phrase that I could come up with lacked weight for the greatness that is Cale. So forgive me for my inadequacy of words. As a Laurel, we look for people to teach, encourage, and inspire. And Cale does this in spades. But Cale, for many years I have known in my heart what I believe a Laurel and a Pelican and a Knight to be. But you have brought me the truth of what it is to be a part of the rapier community. You have taught me and others what it is to be a part of this order long before you were named. You inspire me to be greater than what I am, and for that, you are my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel that would speak for Robin of Gilbert?
I will. Rhiannon Fixian, member of the Order of Laurel. I've known Robin, or known of Robin, since I received my award of arms from the hand of Seglinda, while he stood as her champion. Since then, he's become my friend, my mentor. I've seen him as a scholar and a teacher to all who would learn. He will be, as the member of the Order of the Master did, a scholar, a courtier, and a gentleman who will add greatness to our kingdom and to society. He is my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose that would speak for Caleb McRobb?
Yes, Your Majesty, there is. Your Majesty, I am Octavia de Verdon, and I'm extremely honored to be asked to speak for this man. I cannot express to you my surprise
when he did so. I do not know what else I could add that has not been spoken 2 weeks ago and today as well. This man is awesome. He embodies all that we all want to be. Cale, you're great. Your Majesty, this man definitely is a peer.
If you're a member of the Order of the Rose, it will speak for Robin.
With your permission, I'd like to present this to him right now. This is what I'm presenting to Robin right now. Is an antique cane. It holds the ashes.
It holds the ashes of Duchess Glinda, a lock of her hair, an apple of her perfume. As champion, he stays with her, part of her forever, in soul as well as body. And also it is also coupled at the top with one of her original scarves.
Hear these words of Duchess Glinda Sear. Robin, my eternal champion, cherished friend. This will be my final missive to you from this mortal plane. As I lay here in hospice, I think of our time together and the challenges and adventures we shared. Who would have thought that the honor and burden of showing the known world how a queen and a champion should present themselves to their subjects would fall to you and me? I remember during Sigmund and my first reign that the then royal family encouraged us to close the White Scarf Order. He and I decided, after much thought on what to do and how to do it, we made you and Dupre White Scarves. This set off a war that led to other things that continues today for us. We were so proud to make you a White Scarf. Battle be damned. To see you kneeling before me, full of youth and promise of tomorrow, little did I know that we would remain for the long haul while many others would drift away for other pursuits. You and I decided that our bond would continue on for the overall, or for the remainder of our lives. This is a decision that I have cherished. Then our second reign happened. Overall, not as happy as the first. You, Robin, were the exception. I had high hopes that you would win my queens, but I would remain as objective as possible. You were brilliant that day with cape and all, which, as you know, is my favorite. For the rest of that reign, we showed the known world how it was done between a queen and champion. I loved it, and loved you, standing behind me. And you knowing that right distance and approach. Sigmund and I had some hard times that reign, and you were of great help. Thank you again. Finally, as we were stepping down, you and Don Tyvar gave me one of the greatest treasures of my SCA life. The small golden rose and the tiny white scarf that you both pinned on me when you removed my queen's scarf. I'm crying now, thinking about it. Well, enough about me. Let me say this to you. I know that there are more honors and awards in your future, which will be well deserved. There will be more queens who will need your blade and console. So remember this. Honor those ladies that deserve it. If not, remember in those dark times to honor the position and the ladies who have come before and who will come after, who will deserve it. Teach all who will be taught our history and ways. Go on the field with honor and love of what we do in the highest form of pro. When down, trust on God and feel my hand on your shoulder. It will always be there in spirit. If you still salute me, I will see and bow and smile as I always did. As I break these mortal chains to travel the unknown region, it is my hope that I am allowed to sing praise, to sing before the greatest king of all, the King of Kings. Once more, take care, my eternal and forever ever champion.
Rigid saying May 2012.
Siglinda.
I would also speak for this man. Not that I can come near to giving the glorious words of Siglinda, but because of what this man has meant to be my life. First of all, he's my Baron. Because my father was deceased, he walked me down the aisle. He is my son's godfather. But more than this, when you named him scholar, my soul sang. For he is a scholar, and we know this by his teaching. He taught me how to be a member of the steps. He taught me how to be a bard. He taught me how to find my place, trying to be worthy of the reverence in his voice and face when he speaks of Siglinda. He taught me how to be a queen. This man is my peer. He's more than that. He's what I and so many hope to aspire to.
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose that will speak for Miguel?
So, some weeks passed. Miguel contacted me and asked me if I would speak as his rose. I felt, as the queen, that might be a little awkward. But he assured me that that is truly the words that he wanted to hear on this day. For he was my champion. He was kind to me when no other was. He allowed me support when I needed it. And was strong when I could not be strong. And for that, you always had my undying gratitude.
Is there a lion that would speak for Miguel?
There is, Your Majesty. I, Michelle Chantal de Chernay, Lion of Ansteorra, would speak for this man. I am honored and humbled to stand before you today to attest to this man's honor, his skill, and his friendship. I thank you very dearly for the counsel that you offered me when it was not easy. You did not tell me what I wanted to hear, but rather what you believed was right. Thank you for that. I believe that you will continue to do that with many who see before you today. Your Majesty, this man is indeed my friend.
Is there a lion that would speak for Kaylin?
Your Majesties, I bring words this day from His Excellency, Sir Master Alexis LaBouche, Lion of Ansteorra, who is unable to attend but wanted his words heard. Cal, you are my peer.
Yeah. As we have just heard, the briefest words Alexis has ever spoken.
For any lion.
Your Majesties, I am Ulstead the Unsteady, defender of this dream. Cale had several lions speak for him but that fortnight ago. Ivar did the wonderful drop the mic. I would challenge you to find a lion who would not speak. There are few words I can add to that, but I will. Since Alexis took so few. Many crowns have made many lions for many different reasons. But it turns out that all of us end up taking on a job. If anyone asks any member of the populace of Ansteorra, what is Ansteorra? The first thing you do is look for a lion and say, that is Ansteorra. You point to a person, a lion of Ansteorra, defender of the dream. Your Majesties, I say this man is Ansteorra.
Is there a lion that would speak for Robin of Gilwell?
There are, Your Majesty.
What a blessing it is to stand this day, to see this day come. I am Tessa, defender of the dream. Long have I had the pleasure to know Don Robin. This takes me back to looking at pictures where he climbed on the walls of Rice University with a very young Tybar who was not yet Don, and a very young Robin who was not yet born. Then about 1979, he attended attorney and became determined to move into the rapier community and learn about it. And not only did he learn about it, become expert at it, he taught about it everywhere he went. Young lions or cubs learn everywhere they go. And as lions grow older, they teach and provide everywhere they go. This has Don Robin done. I'm so honored to represent you today as a lioness of Ansteorra and Your Majesty's claim. This man, this lion, is Ansteorra. He isn't here. I'm here.
Your Majesty, Your Excellency. Tessa speaks from the heart. I'm Simon. I speak from the pages of history. Robin began his journey with the SCA 40 years ago. Many of you were not even alive. He was unimpressed until the Tournament of Chivalry in 1979 when Tessa and I made Tybar Moondragon the premier cavalier, that is to say, the first white scar. That uninterested onlooker became dedicated to rapier combat and the dream, and to this day has not shirked in any way that calling. I could stand here and enumerate his many accomplishments, but we would be here 3 weeks. A lion cub begins at a very young age to learn to hunt, to learn to be regal, to learn everything he needs to know, or she needs to know. Robin was like that, except he has hit everything that he's done at a run.
from that early day of the tournament of chivalry, we happen to be the first royalty he had ever seen. I say that for perspective. 2 years later, he had his white scar. In those days, where the white scars had to prove themselves to the heavy community by fighting on the heavy field, Robin did it. Continued to become a centurion of Ansteorra. Cutting. What does he bleed? Ansteorra. He has honored us with his friendship. He is our hero.
The badge of the order is 3 swords interlaced in Paul, inverted rapiers crossed at the tips. In history, in story, and most of all in the hearts of those who will look up to you, crossed swords are the mark of a brotherhood and a pledge to work together in loyalty and in trust.
Your Majesty, the livery is 3 swords crossed. You're invited to cross your swords as the badges come forth. Will the badges come forth? Try your swords. Join the tips. Livery, come forth.
Three of you stand together today, leading the way, and host of others who will come after. Let your steely rapiers be forever joined in brotherhood.
Livery collars were originated to mark the loyal followers of a royal house. In the Renaissance, they were used to show the marks of royal favor or the acceptance of specific responsibilities or membership for an elite order. These collars are used for these reasons. Unlike the first dress collars, these support not a royal badge, but the badge of an order that is now beginning throughout the known world. Let the livery collar remind you of your loyalty to Ansteorra, even while the badge is a constant reminder of your responsibilities that go beyond a single kingdom.
These collars are white, completely unstained, and without any marks, as your order is now without any history. May your actions keep them unstained, but add meaning and glory to the colors of the Masters of Defense.
The judges all thank you for your patience. It is not often that we're able to see history made and history realized. Thank you for your silence, your compassion, and your attention.
A cloak has many purposes. It is used to fight on the field and to flourish in court. Let it remind you that while this is an elite fighting order, your responsibilities and influence go far beyond the field. In many peerage ceremonies, we have given the lineage and history of the insignia bestowed. Today, there is none. These cloaks have never been worn before, and their history starts today.
recognized by all. From across the room or a field, people will watch what you do and say that is what it means to be a master of defense. What you do today is what everyone else will do next year. It better be right. It's still your wish to swear fealty to us as a peer of the realm in your own words.
It is.
My herald, the ways and words we agreed to.
Person shall swear that you hold dear, by all that you hold dear, that you shall uphold, maintain, and keep to your power all such articles as shall be here declared unto you, and received in the presence of your king and queen, and these the rest of your the masters, your brethren, being present here with you at this time.
I so swear.
Item: you shall be true subject to our sovereign Lord King Sven and Lady Queen Antigone, and to their successors, kings and queens of this realm of Ansteorra, and always to be ready to spend both your actions and your counsel in the service of their majesties, where they shall command you at all times against their enemies.
I so swear.
I so swear. Item: you shall be true master from this day forward to the last day of your life, loving truth, hating falsehood, and not grudging or disdaining any master or mistress of this order.
I so swear.
Item: if it chance that you shall come to any manner of prize or game, or any kind of play at weapons touching our science, you shall, without respect of favor or hatred of either party, say, speak, and give true judgment of that which you shall see there, even as you would be judged yourself, without respect of either party, declaring the truth and right so nigh as you can or may.
I so swear.
Item: you shall be merciful, and whereas you happen to have the upper hand of your enemy, that is to say, without weapon or under your feet, or his back toward you, then you shall not kill him, saving yourself harmless without danger of death, except it be in the service of the crown. And also, if you hear of any variance betwixt master and master, or master and provost, or provost and provost, or free scholar and free scholar, you shall do the best you can to make them friends, and always to keep the peace if you can.
I so swear.
I so swear. Item: you shall not promise any person learning, but that you do teach him, or cause him to be taught, as a master ought of right to do. That is to say, a scholar like a scholar, a provost like a provost, and a master like a master, to the uttermost of your power, entering in his degrees without hiding from them that which belongeth to them of right. Such ought to be taught the effect of our science, saving the same which shall keep the science out of slander.
So swears Robin of Gilwell.
So swears Caleb McRobb. So swears Miguel Valle de Villarreal.
Accept your oath of fealty, freely given. Swear to never sacrifice you needlessly. Or fealty, love, service, with honor, and oath breaking, with vengeance. So swear we. Sven, King.
We present to you these letters of cake.
Letters patents, please come to court. We have two of the three that have made it to site. Unfortunately, the third is not available. It will be coming.
No, I've known Miguel since I was 6 years old, which is only 15 years. As soon as he was announced, I started contemplating what a scroll would look like. It has all of his awards on it: his Queen's Champion, his Guardian of the Queen's Hope, his Rising Star of Ansteorra, his White Scarf of Ansteorra, his King and Cut Champion, and his Sable Talon. It also has all three of the MOD's swords on it with crossed tips. Excellent. Scholar, courtier, and soldier. So, I'm very honored to call him my dog, and I'm very honored that I got to make him a scroll.
By your leave. Lords and ladies, I am Mistress Iceland Christian, Laurel of the Realm. I have known these men for so many years. Friends, art is the expression of love. the heart and soul of our kingdom. And it is not very often that we get to record history with love. Today, you've heard the words of warriors, and I am not a warrior. You have heard the words of roses, and boy, am I not a rose. You've heard the words of poets. Occasionally I'm a poet. Jay, I give you my 11 words. The scribe is the silent witness to history. The scribe is the unseen guest at every event. Without us, who's going to record your deeds? Who's going to record your history? Oh, we live on in your heart. But it's our words that live on. The Glenda's words touch my heart today. They'll live on forever. 11 scrolls in you, Robin. Every word of this scroll is buried with blood. There are teardrops on this scroll. There's blood on this scroll. There's mail on this scroll. Taco Bell on this scroll. I finally took a knife to this scroll. Mama would be so pleased. Robin, I wish I had a month to do the scroll that you deserve. But I only had a week. If I could do it again, I could do better. It has all the elements of you. And I ask every herald in this kingdom if I got it right, and Lord, I hope I got it right. So, I hope you live on it in your home with love when you walk by it and know that it's for me. I'm sorry, he's got to do it first. Ooh. I got a ooh.
Was not able to be here in time with Master Kalen's scroll. He will be following up with it at a later point in time. While we're here,
I happily yield this to your needs.
Around their necks are medallions, the badges made by Mistress Catherine of Oklahoma. These clubs were made by Olivia of which Lady Hennessy, Mistress Christiana, Mistress Rihanna, Lady Elena, Mistress Serafina, Lady Sarah, Lady Makira, Meredith Katya, Duchess of Artist. Did I miss anybody? Honorable Lady Sarah, anybody else? This was Kingdom coming together to support this new dream. Kind and thank you for the work of the holders themselves.
Master Miguel Vallejo de Villa Joyce, Master Kalen McRobb, Master Robin of Gilwell. Ansteorra salutes you. Ansteorra's first Masters of Defense.
The Majesty salutes you. White Stars, invite the new Masters of Defense. Create the order of defense in Ansteorra by elevating Miguel Vallejo de Villa Joyce. I'm German. Dr. Rob and Dr. Robert of Gilwell to the newly created rank and estate of Masters of Defense. 4. Master Miguel, Master Kalen, Master Robin. Vivant! 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 Vivant!
Yeah.